guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today I bought another project car, only this one's quite interesting. It's this 2009 Land Rover Defender 110 pickup. I've never had one before. Just driving it does make me feel a little bit like Granny Clampett. As you all know, I love the Defender. I know I shouldn't because they're absolutely terrible. I mean, really, seriously awful. I struggle to explain just how awful they are to drive because most adjectives just don't do it any justice. They are terrible. It's noisy, it rattles and shakes and crashes around. There's hardly any soundproofing. Inside everything's very heavy, stiff, difficult to operate, or placed in entirely the wrong place. And yet, I still like them. I just think they're so characterful. It's like being sat on a very bumpy flight between Mark Lebet from The Chase and Gemma Collins, only with even less elbow room and slightly more turbulence. This is later than the TD5 Defender 90 I filmed with last year. This one uses a 2.4 litre engine, which is slightly more refined and quiet. I said slightly more refined and quiet than the TD5. Driving one is a bit like being strapped to a wild, maniacal horse. You think you're in control, but really you've got no idea what's going on. It just goes its own way. The driver doesn't really have much say in what's going on. You're driving along, minding your own business, and you think, I'll just go over there. But the car won't let you. The car won't allow it. Sometimes you think, right, I think I want first gear now. But the car's thinking, not so fast. Here's second. See what you can do with that. Believe it or not, I'm going in a straight line now. Completely straight. I just can't quite believe that this car left the production line in 2009. It's hilarious, it really is. I've just put the indicator on and look how much play there is in the indicator. It's really laughable. The quality is atrocious. And yet every time I drive one, I thoroughly enjoy it. There are no driver aids, you really have to work them. Anyway, I bought this Defender as a project, like I said. So, in fact, let me pull over and I'll show you around it, because I could do with your advice. I've got some ideas of my own, but I could do with a second opinion. Oh no, cobbled road, you ready? Before I show you around today's car, I just want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Car Vertical. Now, before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike, it's really important that you do a thorough vehicle history check. Otherwise, you just don't know what you're buying. A car might look okay on the face of it, but until you do a thorough vehicle history check, you really don't know what's lurking beneath. I've been using Car Vertical now for years, and every single car you can see on the forecourt, I've checked using Car Vertical. All you do is head over to carvertical.com and type in the reg or the VIN, and then it produces a very detailed report. So it tells you whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. In addition to that, it shows you the MOT history, the ownership changes, the spec of the car, the average market value, and a whole lot more. It doesn't just work in the UK either, it works in 35 different countries. So before you complete your purchase of your car or motorcycle, make sure you do a thorough vehicle history check first using Car Vertical. If you use my promo code HIGHPEAK, that's HIGHPEAK all one word, HIGHPEAK, you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. Or alternatively, click the link below in the video description. Right, enough of that. Anyway, back to the video. So it is, well, it's your typical old farmer's truck, this. It's a bit rough around the edges, but I'm hoping to transform it. It's a very basic model, this, as most of them were, so it's even got things like windy manual windows. Now, Land Rover have very cleverly placed the window winders just out of arm's reach, which means you can't wind the window down while you're moving along. There are lots of other ergonomic disasters in this, which I'll get to later. So let's have a look around. They're worth a fortune, these old Defenders anyway, so the only way I can really get some profit out of it is to try and improve the way it looks. So I'm thinking of tastefully pimping it up a little bit. They're quite easy to do. It's a good colour to begin with, so it's the perfect blank canvas. For starters, I'm going to get the roof painted because for some reason, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but it's white and it looks terrible. So I'm going to get that done either gloss black or grey to match the car. Then I'm going to replace the front grille with a later style one, probably in black as well, and I'll put the Land Rover badge in black on the bonnet. Then I can buy clear indicator lenses. That's quite a straightforward job. The next thing then is the wheels. Now, I'd like to put some newer style sawtooth wheels on it, again in gloss black, or maybe some old style boost wheels from like an old TD5. Either way, gloss black against the grey would look really good. Then I'd like to paint these wheel arches, again, either black or grey to match the car, because right now this horrible plastic look just doesn't look very good. I mean, the bodywork is quite tidy really for one of these. A few dents and marks in it, but nothing terrible. So onto the back of the truck. If this were just an ordinary pickup truck, like a Hilux or a L200 or something, I'd order a black plastic load liner, but I'd be very surprised if they make one for a Land Rover Defender. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking it to a joiner and have it boarded out in like a teak style deck. I've seen that on one of those Defender fan pages that I follow on Instagram, and it looks really good, so I might do that. Mechanically, I think I'll take it for a full service and get the underside cleaned up and wax oiled, just to prevent it rotting away, and that should be about it. The interior needs some TLC as well. You can see it's all worn. I mean, to be fair, they weren't much better than this when they were new, but everything's a little bit dog-eared and frayed. Luckily on Defenders, everything's quite easy to do. So it needs a new steering wheel because that one's all worn. All this trim needs to be put back properly. I might look for a cubby box and a centre, so there's a centre armrest, centre console and some cup holders. And the rest just wants tidying up. I'm not sure whether to replace the seats for something a little bit more tasteful. And I might play around with the soundproofing just to try and, well, basically hear myself think when I drive it. Oh, and a new stereo, because the volume knob's fallen off. Can't have that. A couple of months ago I bought this 2009 Land Rover Defender 110 pickup truck. It was just your typical bog standard old farmer's truck. There was absolutely nothing special about it. Although it hadn't done many miles, all of those miles were done on a farm, so it wasn't in the best shape. Every single panel was either dented, scratched or scraped, and the interior was terrible. The seat belts were chewed and frayed, probably by the old farmer's sheepdog. The seats were ripped and scruffy looking, there was sand and mud everywhere. It just wasn't a very nice place to be. So, over the last 2 or 3 months, I've spent thousands, and I mean thousands of pounds on this car, transforming it. And I can't wait to show you guys because you really won't recognise it. I thought this was the ideal candidate for a restoration because the colour was good. I could just visualise how it might look. Full-on James Bond Spectre style. It's still terrible to drive though. Noisy, cramped, rattly, uncomfortable. There are still a couple of small jobs to do. For example, the steering wheel needs straightening because it's way off centre. And the indicator, you put it on to turn right and it cancels itself too early. I think it's got a case of premature cancellation. You know the phrase ergonomically friendly? Well, that doesn't really apply to the old Defender. In fact, I think I'd describe them as ergonomically hostile. The first thing I did with this old Defender was to take it down to my mechanics for a full service. I wanted to get it up on the ramp and just make sure it wasn't completely rotten underneath, which it wasn't, thankfully. So I had the underside protected in wax oil, just to try and preserve it, and I had a full service done. The next thing I did was drop it off with my body shop painter extraordinaire, Jimmy the Magician, and he certainly pulled a rabbit out of the hat with this one. What he's achieved here is nothing short of breathtaking. You won't believe it's the same truck, honestly. Let me find somewhere quiet to pull over so I can walk you around it. Let me show you the front of the car first. You ready for this? So we've had the whole truck painted. We've kept the same colour, but it's all been redone. Every single panel. If you remember, the roof was white, which we've painted gloss black. How good does that look? We've put the XS style front grille on, new headlights, new bumper bar with LEDs, new gloss black badges, snorkel. Every single time I walk around this car I find something new that's cost me money. So yeah, new snorkel, new badges, new gloss black checker plate. The good thing with Defenders is they're so customizable. Everything just bolts on. We've also replaced all the screws and nuts and bolts with stainless steel ones so they won't rust. Moving around the truck, we've painted the wheel arches gloss black, front and back, put new side steps on, we put matching checker plate on the sills. I bought a set of 5 Boost alloys off eBay and had brand new BF Goodrich tyres fitted. we've had them painted in gloss black too. Around the back it's all been painted. We decided to paint the tailgate in a gloss black to match the roof, which I think looks really good. In the flatbed, wait until you see this, we've lined it all with gloss black checker plate, including the base, but then Jimmy decided to make this wooden deck and then varnished it that many times. It's so smooth. It just looks like something you'd expect to see on a boat on Lake Como. Moving inside, we've had new leather bucket seats fitted, new original door cards, new door locks, new floor, new mats, new cubby box with 2 cup holders, in case you're wondering. The gear knob's brand new, and so is the steering wheel. Just how cool is this? So for all of you who've been asking why it's been taking so long, now you can see. I think it was definitely worth the wait when you see the kind of transformation that it's had. Well, thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll leave the link below. Check out my new store, highpeakstore.co.uk, where you can pick up these t-shirts. So yeah, cheers guys. I'll see you next time. Oh no, cobbles. Remember this from last time. No Range Rover, is it? Yeah, cheers guys. See you next time.